Hi guys.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tales of Living with 59 Other Roommates in association with Sky Show Productions. I'm Deji Emanuel,
I'm Deontay.
and we're here once again to tell you about our tales of living with
59, 60, 70, 80.
90, some 100 other people.
Literally.
Here in the City of Angels, where today it is bright and sunny. Thank goodness, after all those weeks of rain.
Rain, cold. It actually feels, because when I first got to Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
like I got here 7 months ago,
Okay.
and it was like rainy and cloudy, and I was like, what the fuck happened to the sun?
It was like that. I remember waking
minute.
up one day and being like, "Isn't it June?
Yeah.
Why is it still raining?"
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles is supposed to be the sunny place where everybody wants to come and have fun, and now we're Seattle.
Yeah, yes. I was like, rain, everything. I said, this is not what I signed up for.
No.
So I was like, what's happening? So
Not
I'm
at
glad
all.
it's hot. I'm glad it was actually really fucking hot today.
We're going through a heat wave, guys.
It was actually really hot. I was sweating.
Complete heat wave.
You know when you sweat in the back, like you're like,
Oh, down to your
down,
crack.
yeah, and
Your
it
butt
just
crack.
drips down.
Oh,
That's what I felt. And I was like, okay, at least my shirt isn't the.
I recently got back from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Took a little trip up there with the missus.
The misty.
And I stepped outside and we were taking photos.
Mhm.
Just standing there, I was drowning in a pool of my own sweat.
See.
Sweat
Mm-mm.
was going down my leg, I don't want to say in-laws because
Everything.
Yeah, everyone that was there at the reunion,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they were looking at me and wondering,
Are you okay?
yes,
Like, is he going?
I am fine. I am just in new territory. I
Yeah.
don't know how to act.
They thought you were nervous.
Possibly.
They were like, "Oh, he's shaking his boots. He's sweating too much."
It's probably.
That's
They're trying to get to my lies.
They're like, he's sweating a little bit too much for me.
A little too much. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce you to our introduction. We realize that you don't really know us too well yet.
Exactly.
And so we want to share a little bit of backstory for you in order for you to get to know who we are as people and not just two people who talk
A lot of shit.
sometimes about the place we used to live.
More so, just like being able to connect with us. We want you to understand like our stories and get to know
Of
us
course.
and ask us questions along the way.
Of course.
That'll be cool to just like interact. And also, there's some parts of our stories that we don't know because we haven't like really explored
No.
back before Upstart.
I know a little bit about
Yeah,
you.
like a little backstory. We
Yeah.
know like a little bit, but like I don't think we've ever like dove into like way before.
How about this? When did you realize you wanted to? Because LA's full of creatives and
Yeah.
artists and people who want to make it in the industry. That's why people move here. That's why it has a high turnover rate, guys.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to become an artist in the first place?
Ooh, I love this question.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that's just it's so inspiring. So for me, when I was a kid, I would always watch like Disney Channel.
Right.
So I'm a Disney kid.
Oh, I'm a
And
Disney kid too.
Disney
Yeah.
Disney has a chokehold on me like
Yeah.
no other. And literally
What's
when I
up,
was
Mickey?
yeah, hi, sponsor us.
Run us them coins, boys.
But as a kid, I would always just like pretend that I did the whole dun dun dun, like this is Deontay and you're watching da da da.
You're watching Disney Channel,
and I
yes.
would always do a little thing, and I would also like have little interviews. Of movies that I was in, fake movies that I made up
Yeah.
that I was, had my little sister interview me for.
You were in Brink?
And yeah, I was on Brink. I was on Zoom. What's the one? The one where Raven's in. Remember?
Xenon?
Xenon. I was in Xenon. I was in Xenon.
Girls of the 21st century?
Yes. Listen. I had a whole remix. The boy. It was me. So I would say for me, it was just being a kid and seeing other kids on TV and wanting to be that because
Yeah.
I've always been that big personality.
Of course.
And I just was like, okay, that's what I want to do. And then as soon as it got into like me being like in like my teenage years, I actually started putting the pen down and like was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start writing some shows that I would like to be in because I'm never gonna get to Los Angeles. You know.
Oh, you didn't think you were
I
gonna
didn't think I was gonna
here.
get because I'm from a very, very small town.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't think there was a possibility. I just knew that I always wanted to go.
Yes.
So what I did, I put all my imagination.
You didn't realize there possibly could have been opportunities around you, even if you never made it to Los Angeles?
You know, I think my sights were just set so high that anything around me, because I'm from Kentucky, anything around me just wasn't up to par, you know, that I was thinking. I was like, it's just not going to, like, it's LA or no way,
it is
you know?
Kentucky. I mean,
it's Kentucky.
What's the most creative thing that Kentucky is even known for? What could you really put your I see your face. Look, I'm trying to draw it
Bourbon?
out.
Bourbon, horses,
mm-hmm.
basketball. Like it was a very like Kentucky. It for me growing up was a very like, it's sports, it's beer, it's coal mining, it's horse racing,
the manly men stuff.
Yeah. And
yeah.
And I'm just like, I was the boy that like liked to sing, liked to dance, liked to act and stuff like that. So that was never really a hot commodity.
Something that you thought
of doing,
yes.
You know, so I had to suppress writing, had to suppress this. So I think another thing that pushed me out was the show Empire.
Okay.
Went 2015. I remember it exact. There was an episode where
I've never seen an episode of that.
Really?
I've not.
Oh.
It's one of those things where I would hold off. People would tell me the series was good, and I do this all the time with so many series. That's why I've never seen a lot of series. Is that I would hold off. And thank you, Netflix, for the binge culture.
Yeah,
I would hold off on seeing a TV show because I wanted to binge it all at the end. And then next thing you know, I would have not seen a single episode. Season 2 will come along.
Yes.
I would have not seen a single episode. Season 3 come along, and I'm like, well, I haven't watched it this long.
I'm not watching it at all.
And now it's at the end, and people are saying like the 4th season isn't as good as the first. And now I'm like, well, now I don't want to watch it because now I'm disappointed.
But Empire is one show that you have to actually watch. It's really good. Was really good. I don't know if it's on yet. I dropped off of it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still on.
But I love the show. But there was a scene in there where Jamal, the gay character, he goes to a rap battle, and he starts to sing, and he's like singing lyrics, and they're like basically him coming out. And
bars.
Yeah, bars. And then as soon as the last verse he says bitch, like as he's rapping, he's singing, and the guy's like, everyone cheers. It has like an Eminem 8 Mile moment.
Yeah.
And that right there for me, just the way he did that, like it inspired me to come out. And also when I came out, like during that time, it was a lot of pressure, but it gave me that like to go out and like do all that.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just started to take into my creativeness. I was just like, I dance, I sing, I write, I want to act, do all this stuff. So I'm about to step into this.
Hey, if anybody from Empire is listening to this right now, and just know that you have inspired multiple people to come to LA and live their truth. So, give us money.
Thank you, Lee Daniels. Literally.
Thank you.
No,
but
that
come
was
on the podcast. Come on, Lee. Come on. We'll
just drag us in. Come have a sit.
We'll love to have you.
Have a seat.
Yeah, we'll talk to shit about what other roommates you've had in the past.
Yeah, how you got here?
Yeah,
where you were. But I would say that's one defining moment. That's literally just me growing up having nothing and my imagination taking me to here, because like I said, I didn't really think that I was going to be able to like go to Los Angeles because money, family, where I'm at, and like crazy circumstances.
Let me ask you this: when was the first time you actually knew that moving to Los Angeles was a possibility?
Right after I graduated high school, I shit you not, I didn't want, how people get like big graduation gifts.
Right.
I was just like, give me money or figure out ways to get me to LA. So literally after I graduated high school, a week or two after that, I went to LA. Like I had saved all the graduation money and I moved to Los Angeles.
How much was the graduation money?
$500. That was it.
It's enough.
But
pack up and move.
For LA,
yeah.
I mean, when I tell you it, by the time I got to Los Angeles, I had $200.
And look, it was enough to put a deposit on living in a box.
No, but see, I didn't even fly.
Mhm.
Like, I literally took a Greyhound.
Okay.
So imagine me, 18 years old. I took a Greyhound to LA, which
Mhm.
is 3 days, no showering, no like it was literally a fucking journey.
Yeah.
And I was just so excited and scared at the same time because I was like, I'm leaving everything I know.
Yeah.
But in a sense, that like type of feeling, you don't really, you kind of have to be insane to do
It is.
that.
There's a certain excitement to it.
Yeah.
Because I remember moving here to pursue something. I wasn't trying to go into the corporate world, which I just came from.
Yeah.
I didn't really have too much of a plan, except for I knew that I wanted to be in this space. And coming here, I had a little bit more than you did. I think I had about $1,500 that I had
Period.
saved. I know.
I would have. I lasted 3 months.
Oh, that I still had to call up my friend John. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciated your help at the time.
Period.
I was like, John.
Those are the real ones.
Yeah.
Keep them. The real
call-
ones that
I-
help you in tough times.
I called John. Look, I'm in a tough space. I just blew all my money on all these permits that you need. There was a lot of stuff I had to get. Next thing you know, I had about like $300
Yeah.
rent to do in like 2 weeks.
Gotta
I was like,
make it
John,
some shake.
John, just give me a month. Just give me a month's worth of money, boy. And luckily, and I promised to pay John back. He gave me the money, and I paid him back in a month later.
Yeah.
You know, after I was able to put some stuff together and start making money. So yeah, there is that excitement about coming to LA, not knowing what exactly is going to happen, being nervous at the same time.
It's scary,
It's
but
scary.
it's scary, but there's just feeling like, you know, like when there's a threshold of fear
Mhm.
that's surrounding you, and then like when you just like break through it,
Mhm.
it's a sense of like euphoria. Like you feel like you can do anything. Like there's so much magic inside you. It's like
Right.
I can take over the world, and that's what I felt. I felt like there was such a hold, like a holdback with my family.
Mhm.
Like they are all in Kentucky, and not a lot of them have traveled outside of it.
Right.
And I felt like I was the first one like charting this epic journey, you know,
Yeah.
and it just felt so like good. And I just, when I got here, I had that moment where I'm looking around LA like, you know, like in the movies, like, wow, this is the big ass place.
Yeah.
I feel like a small fish. But
I drove through downtown,
ooh,
and
it's just,
I looked around. And I was like, wow,
I'm here.
this is dirty.
No, it's always been dirty, but you know, it was one of those moments. I mean, when you first arrived, like, what was the first thing that inspired you to come to Los Angeles?
Oh, funny story. Honestly, I think in the previous podcast we've talked about
Mhm.
how I've always just loved cameras
Yes.
and
I
recording
mean,
stuff.
hence the company you have.
Hence the video agency.
I mean, come on.
Yes, I formed a whole company. But it kind of dissipated through the times,
Yeah.
you know. And this is, and I get it. You have societal pressures from
Yes.
family,
Family, friends.
who want you to go into a different path because they want you to have a sense of security.
A better life.
Yeah, a better life, a sense of
Which, what
security.
the fuck does that mean?
So yes, I succumbed. You know, I succumbed to that. I went through the process. I did all that, but I still wasn't happy.
Yes.
I knew there was still something in me that wanted to get out there and do something. And I never really gave LA too much thought.
Hmm.
The only thing I gave a lot of thought was I wanted to record.
Was it New York first, or?
It wasn't New York. I had no particular place in mind.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so the first time LA started becoming a possibility for me
Hmm.
was I was living with, and this is going to bring John back up again.
Hmm.
I was living with John at the time, and John had a girlfriend,
Mhm.
and they had been dating a while. John's a little older. So they decided, oh, it's time for his girlfriend to move in.
Oh.
And when his girlfriend moves in,
You have to
guess
go.
what? I
You have to.
get the wonderful opportunity of being kicked out.
The boot. Get the fuck
So
out.
exactly, but I was happy for them.
No.
you
It
know?
was, it's a good transition.
No resentment,
Yeah.
not much, anyways.
Mhm.
And so,
John, you heard that?
yes, John, you're in my book.
He said what?
Anyways, when he said that, he's like, "Hey, would you mind?" I'll give you about 2 months or so. You know, she wants to move in. I was like, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought for a second. I don't know what it was, but something in my brain went, you know what? I think I want to move to Los Angeles.
Just there, you know?
Like, just like that.
I think it's innately inside you. I think when you're an artist, I think you know deep down like what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And you ask the first people, like your parents, stuff like that, like for reassurance and validation. But the moment they don't give that to you, you have to look inward.
Yes.
And I think that's what we end up doing.
That's what we did.
And that's literally what it was. I was told that like, you know, that it's a big dream and like 1 in a million people get that.
Yes.
And I'm like, I just know if I'm always going to get my star. I was like, I'm going to get a star.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm going to get a star.
Of
And like, it's just not something that's so unattainable for me, I don't feel like. I feel like if, I don't know, going outer space is unattainable for me. You know, being a doctor is unattainable for me.
Yeah, I was
You
going
know,
to be a doctor.
you know what I'm saying? Like, an accountant, that's not, that is alien to me. Numbers.
Oh.
I'm not knocking the accountants. I'm just saying.
I
like,
am.
I have friends that are accountants. Sorry, y'all.
How dare you throw these numbers at me?
Sorry, y'all.
Oh, taxes? What are you talking about?
I just don't see that for me. But, you know, people and family, they do have these standards for you. And they throw that in there.
Yeah.
Better life. And, like, I honestly was just like, if I was doing those things, I would be so depressed. I would be so, like, unhappy about life.
Yep.
I mean, just because we're creative at heart. You know what I'm saying?
It's not something that makes us happy. There's a lot of people who are very, very content.
Happy, successful.
Like, they are happy families,
Yes.
beautiful lives,
Yes.
who do what they do.
It's just something in our minds. Our
Not the
beings
life for me.
just can't do it.
Not the life for me.
Mm-mm.
And one thing that I always try to make sure people know that whenever they're coming out here is that if you are committed to coming out here and following those particular dreams, make sure you have a true passion for it.
Yes.
Because you need to know that Los Angeles is a high turnover city.
It chews you up.
It
spits
will
you out.
chew you up and spit you out.
Yes. It has some of the most potent magic here that like attracts you. Like, when I landed, I felt like LA has this magic, and I say it all the time, but it also has this like aura of just like not giving a fuck about you.
No,
it can switch in a second.
Yep.
And that's all. And I think honestly, I'm just getting to this. That's honestly why I think that there are so many homeless people in LA.
Yes, I do too.
Just because I feel like they have those dreams, those sparks, those fires that they got out here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of them, which is unfortunate, but their flame, their light just blown out.
It's part of it.
It's part of it, and then they turn to other things, stuff like that. But we see a lot of people here that are like that, and I feel like they all have had dreams, because LA is a city of dreams.
Oh, of course it is. I mean,
you know,
everywhere you look, I have friends who have started from the bottom, and now they're here.
Now they're here.
You know, I've seen them go from someone who's living in the pod right next to me.
Yeah.
You know, as we go back to living with 59 other roommates. And now I'm seeing them on Netflix shows.
Yeah.
They grew in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. They had a passion for it.
Yes.
They knew that even if this isn't working out right now,
it will.
Because I love this so much and I'm going to continue to put the effort into it. I'm not just doing this because I think I'm going to be a star or I'm going to make a lot of money. I truly enjoy this. I truly enjoy the grind.
Yes.
That this is going to take me to where I need it to take me, because I'm willing to go through those fires, through that pressure.
Trials and tribulations.
Through all those trials and tribulations.
Oh, I think that's the title of this episode.
Trials and tribulations.
But like, no, because I always say, like, you know, sometimes like I feel like that right there is it. Like with Upstart, with what we were in, the pods, like we're all seeing the hunger. Like we literally,
I saw it every day.
We know we were in there. We literally did like hunger, thirst for our dreams. Like people were waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go out.
Yes.
Going to auditions, going to 3 jobs. Like people were like, when people, like, when we talk about Upstart, like, it wasn't just, like, all the bullshit. Like, it was
trust me, there was a lot
of bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit. No pun intended with the fucking Last episode.
Yeah.
But like there are people that were grinding. Like we all were grinding. Like 3-4 jobs, booking this, going here, practicing here, doing this. Like so much is going into just trying to get that moment for you.
Yes.
And, you know, and it's what, draining. It's exhausting.
It's very draining.
You get told no 1,000 times. You're getting put.
Correction. 1,001.
1,001.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get a yes, it's not like it probably isn't this big yes.
It's not.
Or it's just a yes to get you to the next door. And you constantly have family nagging at you, like, when are you gonna do this? What are you doing this? Like, how are you making money on this gig? When they don't understand that.
I hate that question.
Yeah.
So I would have family members call me and be like, oh, you know, how's that little LA thing going?
Listen, anybody that says little, this and this little dance thing or this little acting writing thing. No.
That little video project that you have.
No. Talk to us nice. You know, don't minimize what the fuck I'm doing.
Don't.
That is I cringe at that so hard because like you're basically just shitting on what I'm doing.
Yes.
Don't do it, guys.
It's you.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You might get punched in the mouth.
Or flicked in the forehead. It's that little subconscious thing that people do when they say little, and they might not even be meaning to demean whatever you're doing, but subconsciously they're going, oh, I don't really believe that you're gonna succeed in this.
Yeah. And I feel like it's funny we're saying this because like I feel like a lot of people have those voices in their head and those people in their lives. Like I have plenty now till this day. Right now, even though I've done some pretty cool things, you know, I still have those people in my world that say like this, that, and the third.
Of course.
They still question everything. They still wonder when is this going to happen? Or also, it's always about money. It's never about like, did I have a good time?
Yeah.
Is it like, am I happy? Am I progressing?
Yeah.
You know, is it feeding my soul?
Exactly.
Am I happy? And that's just a weird thing with people who don't understand the artist's way. What do we even call them?
Haters.
People. Like, I mean, people that like work. I mean, like, you know, we have artists, and then what else? What are they? Like, should we make a name for them?
The others.
Like, cause like it's a very distinct thing. Yes. I have friends that are not artistic at all, and like them trying to navigate what I'm doing is they can't comprehend it.
But you know what's funny? I have friends who, like I said, they do the college thing. They're in corporate jobs. They do that. But the older I get, the more I'm seeing those same friends do artistic things part-time. Maybe they'll hop on a TikTok and make a TikTok. Maybe they'll hop on Instagram and you'll see them doing something creative. Maybe they're doing a side job as a photographer. They're still letting that artistic side of them come out bit by bit as they get older. I've seen a number of people. Fun story. I knew this one lady. She's incredible, nicest girl in the world. In college, she was, I think, a psychology major. University of Maryland. Shout out Terps.
Period. Okay. Terp.
And smartest girl in the world. 2 years ago, I was out in West Los Angeles, West LA, and I see her. She's walking down the street.
It's so cool seeing people you know.
I know.
Aww.
I look at her and I'm like, and I walk up to her. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be some big shot therapist in Maryland? And she's like, nah, you know, California was more my vibe. So I decided to move out here after doing a few years over there. And so I'm thinking, oh, she probably moved out here to still pursue whatever it is she was pursuing in Maryland. So I asked her, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing nowadays? You know, what's your occupation? You know, and she's like, I walk dogs.
Period.
I'm like, what? Repeat that? Period. She's like, yeah, I walk dogs. And I thought of it, and I'm like, oh, that's right. People in LA do love their dogs, and they do pay a pretty penny. But she was doing that not because of gaining this status or going towards a profession that she necessarily didn't like. She was doing it just because she wanted to pursue the more artistic side of herself, and she was doing this part-time. And because she was feeling the California vibes.
See, no, because I just find like the artist life so beautiful. I feel like everything else is mundane. I feel like think about it this way. The other day I was giving a little motivational talk on my Instagram, and I was saying, like, you know, if you think about it, the world is really consuming art, and the crazy thing is about artists, it's so hard to be an artist in this society. But in the same sense, though, everybody consumes it.
Yes.
Like, if it didn't exist, what the fuck would we be talking about? What would culture be?
Yeah,
like, it would be black and white.
It's like people don't respect it.
We artists, artists are like, what did I say? Like, artists are like, you know, imagine there's a coloring book.
Yes.
And literally it's just, you know, coloring books is black and white.
Right.
We are the fucking crayons. And I think that's a fucking word. Can we just acknowledge the fact that I just...
Snap.
I ate that.
Snap. Well done.
Thank you.
Well
we
done.
are the crayons.
Yes.
That could also be the title of the thing.
Coloring book, baby.
Coloring book.
And a good example of to your point, is during the pandemic, when we were all inside and everybody had either didn't have a job or were a stay at home.
Yeah.
You know the number one app during the pandemic? TikTok. People were on TikTok making dances, showing people their artistic work.
Yeah. Even though I hate TikTok,
yes,
I was on it too. Addicted.
TikTok sponsor us. Don't
right. I don't hate TikTok. I just hate the algorithms.
Yeah. Well, that's for next episode.
I just hate the algorithm.
Algorithms a little. Anyway, sponsor us. We're two black people.
Right.
And,
my dances are fire.
If you want to make up for your algorithm, no better way than to toss money at black people.
I would say, you know, don't see a lot of black creators.
Anyways. So yeah, that was the number one app because people had nothing to do but to just create.
Yeah. I think you start to sit with yourself and realize that everybody has a creative thing inside them. And I think COVID, you know, I think it really allowed us to look within and literally, what do you like to do when the world's ending, when there's nothing going on?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what are you doing? Are you painting? Are you drawing? Are you talking? Are you singing? Are you making music? And I think
you don't have to worry about
money.
What are you doing?
Who are you? And that's one pivotal thing that got me through to where I am now with my creativity. It's a transition from last when we were in Upstart.
Right.
Like, I'm tapping into literally every facet of my creativity. Every God-given gift that I have, I'm getting it up to par.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I start off with dancing, but everything is a sense of, like, they loop in. And I'm learning how to use them. But I think it stemmed with COVID. Because for me, I literally asked myself, like, Deontay, who the fuck are you if, like, with, like, everything going to shit?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to leave behind? What are you presenting to the world?
Exactly.
And I was like, couple dances videos, like, I was like, no, it has to be bigger. You know, I was like, you have to think bigger. You have to think better. Like, what are you going to leave behind? I was like, it's just my why changed.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to shit on people that said I was going to be shit. I'm going to shit on the teacher that in high school was like, Deontay, your attitude isn't going to get you anywhere. No, now it's more so like my why is like, I just really want to leave stuff that can change someone's life, change mine, change the world. And I caught
it took me a while to actually catch COVID.
Yeah.
When I caught it, it was the most debilitating thing in the world. And I was bedridden for 2 weeks.
Freedom.
And when I got over it, I remember a spark because I was literally on my deathbed, like close to it.
Yes, back then it was a death sentence.
Yeah, right there it was a death sentence, and it felt like it. And I remember I recovered.
I got it twice.
I remember. Hopefully, won't catch it again. And so, I made the decision mentally I was like, I have to start building
Yeah.
this agency
Mm-hmm.
right now, because just like you said, I'm like, I'm in LA. I've done some stuff,
Yeah.
but what have I done really?
Mm-hmm. What have I done? Like, what have I done?
Yes.
You know, you done stuff for other people. What have
Yes.
you done? That's the question.
And I was like, all right, I need to start getting a little bit more selfish and
Yeah.
really start building something that, if I was to leave this earth today, that I would be proud that I've established. So, thank you, pandemic, for basically everything that you see right now.
Inspiring everything, inspiring
You
us.
know?
Like that's why I created this whole brand called like Step Into the Inferno. Like that's really my whole thing.
Yeah.
When I was in Austin, Texas,
Mhm.
like I had a little documentary thing I did with like 10 adults that I taught,
Right.
and we just tapped in. It was deeper than dance. Like I had these 10 adults, like students, just go in and train with me, and we opened up and became human.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking. We were also dancing, but we were getting to know each other deeper. We were feeling music deeper. We were feeling each other deeper, and we were talking about our mental stages where we were at.
That's so important.
And we just opened up.
So important.
And when I tell you the whole experience, it has taken these 10 people. Like I can physically sit back and look at all the things they've done, and they're like, and they really just like they did it and opened up because they didn't believe in themselves before.
Yeah.
But after, you can see them auditioning for crazy things.
Oh,
They're doing stuff
man.
right now, and then they still reach out to me and they're like, "Oh, Deontay, da da da, like thank you so much," and da da da. Like I missed that experience.
Yeah.
And that was just one thing. I was just like, "Yo, that was at a time when I was like low, you know."
Speaking of inspiration, and I'm gonna kind of take us back to the co-living that we were in. When you first arrived and you saw that you were around so many creatives, so many people, who was the first person that you were like, I met and truly inspired me? I'm like you said, there's 70, 80, 90, some houses, 100 other people that we have to live with every single day. Who's that one person that you first met that you're like, oh, this person is inspiring me to not only be an artist, but to get better?
Yeah, there's so many people. Because I think it's more so like every person that we met, there was so many different things about each person that I like was like, wow, like this person is teaching me something, or I need to learn this or something like that. But honestly, it was a person. Don't know. Did you meet? Wow, it's crazy. I don't want to say names.
Yeah, you don't have to say any names. Maybe description. Abs.
No. I walked in and like she had a beautiful voice.
Yes.
And she was always singing in the shower. And I walked in the first day and I met her. And then like maybe when it
Ethnicity?
Black.
Okay.
And met her, and then we like it was like 7 o'clock, so it was nighttime, 8 o'clock, and we were just like, she was having like a writer session by the little smoke tent, and I just never thought about having a writer session for yourself.
Right.
I never started like writing music. I didn't write songs. I mean, I wrote them, but I never like dedicated time through my day to write them. I just like had little notes in my phone. But she had a whole journal, her little notebook, and the only time I ever did that was when I wrote my stories, my scripts. So I was like, wait, like I have songs in my brain, my heart as well. So
just like, you gotta bring them out.
I bring them out. So we literally sat there and just in the quiet, just writing, and that's how I wrote one of my songs. Remember the song "I Loving You"?
I do not.
That is a song. Yeah, no.
We'll play later.
No. But that is a song that my first song that I wrote wasn't Upstart, but it was inspired by that moment because that's the first thing I wrote when I was there. Those top lyrics, and then she was also there, and like it's a beautiful thing because she saw it from pen to being recorded to then being a song. It's my first one.
That's dope. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and like it's a really cool thing because like I remember like self-sabotaging myself, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not a songwriter, and like she was just the like one person like, at that moment was just like, no, like this is the time to do it.
You know someone told me one time?
What?
They said whenever you put in your title, hey, I'm an aspiring,
Mm-hmm.
you know, da da da. Don't put aspiring.
Yeah.
Whatever you mentally have told yourself you are.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to go and get it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. That's why I'm very, very like, adamant about like what I say to myself.
Yes.
Like I literally am saying like there's so many things I am. I'm a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dancer.
Of course.
I'm a writer.
Uh-huh.
I'm a singer-songwriter.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a choreographer. I'm an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I am.
Preach.
This whole little slash thing
Preach.
that I have. Like
yes.
if you are an artist, I use it as like you are an artist, but it's an umbrella term.
Yes.
So everything underneath is what you can be under the umbrella. Yes. But yeah, slash, But that was, she really did inspire. I haven't talked to her in forever because, we lose touch.
Sometimes, yeah.
We lose touch. But that was one of the things that really inspired me, and I appreciate. You know who you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what about you? What's your?
I got. Let's pause for breaks.
Oh, we have a break.
Commercial breaks.
Hi.
So, welcome back, guys.
Hi.
Thank you to all of our sponsors. Yeah, so I got inspired by Ukrainian. Good old country of Ukraine. We are with you, by the way. We don't want you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Shout out to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying his name, but I won't. But
I think I know him, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say white guy, but
worked there. Yeah.
Yeah, but
okay, I know.
But he's Ukrainian.
He's
so
good.
you kind of figure he's white.
Oh, I want to know the story. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I came to Upstart actually doing photography.
Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't start. I mean, I did video where I came from.
Yeah.
But I guess I got artist cast as a photographer because that's what I came in. And so I took some photos. They were okay. I'm still working on my craft.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a few people there who needed headshots and their stuff taken.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this other international girl. She had just, every time I would ask her, I was like, hey, you want to get your picture taken? You want to... And she was like, no, that's right now. No.
No, every time. No. And definitely no.
I learned she was being shot by someone at Upstart who, when I saw the photos, I was like, wow, this guy's much better than me. No wonder she turned me down. She was like, you are not up to par, sir.
Yeah. Last name O. Right?
Was his last name O?
Solid with O?
I don't think so.
Wrong person.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I was like, his photos are fire.
His photos are really, really good too.
Yeah.
But no, not him.
Okay.
And so what I did was I went over to him one day and I was like, hey, let's partner up. Let's do a shoot. And so a friend of mine's, I'm going to say his name because he definitely won't mind if I say his name. His name is Kendall. He was having, he doesn't live in Upstart. He doesn't live with us. He's just someone that I met through a mutual friend that lived in Baltimore.
Nice.
Linked up with Kendall. He was shooting a music video somewhere in downtown Los Angeles. And that's how I got connected with him. And so for the next shoot that he did, it was a book, I believe. I invited the person who inspired me, and we did a collaboration together. And I kid you not, the way I saw him move, the way I saw his vision, the way he looked at things, I was like, this is how I want to look at things. The way he set up the lighting, the way he made sure the camera angles were great, not just good, great. Till today, I still use a lot of what I saw in him that day to produce some of the fire content that we produce today here at Sky Show Productions, video agency, LLC, hire us, etc., etc.
He set the bar.
He set the bar. Of what the standard should be for people who want to hire you to do things for them. And when people like that come into your life and you learn from them, sometimes they don't even realize
that's what they're doing,
that you're learning from them, because he's so humble, like the most humble person in the world. I'm sure if you ask him right now, he would probably say, "Oh no, his work was good. You know, it was much better than mine's." And that's me trying to do a Ukrainian accent. I know it sucks. But till that day, he's still one of my closest friends. He travels all across the United States now. He was actually in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure if he's still here. He's worked for Sky Shield in the past. He was actually the company's main photographer for a little bit before he decided to move to another state.
Nice. That's beautiful though. I love the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, even though you were artists like that, it's good to hear like who we're inspired by, what inspires us, you know, like it's so cool to see. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, like, that was your, you know, first.
And I kid you not, I don't know if I would be here today if I decided to just rent an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment.
You wouldn't have, because could you imagine? Like, I mean, you probably would have, but I'm saying, like, you wouldn't have, in a sense of, like, do you know how much harder it would have been?
It would have. I honestly believe it would have been much harder. Because of that community that I gained from living with so many other roommates. I was able to find, you know, who uses the term like-minded people all the time. I was able to find like-minded people who pushed me, who tested me, who challenged me through their actions and made me better.
Especially my way of thinking.
Yes.
Because, like, I thought out the box. I've done things that I didn't think that I was, because I had this egotistic, like, I'm a star.
Yes.
You know, and then I build friendships, and then they're like, wait, can you do this in my video? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And here I am carrying a generator. Across a fucking mountain for free.
Wait, hold on. You carried
a generator.
We gotta get into the story. Who made you carry a generator? What was the generator for?
So we did a music video shoot for one of the other artists who is a friend. And the music video was dope. Turned out beautiful. But the generator fell out to be my responsibility, which loved.
Yes.
I'm a team player.
Yes.
Go
team.
Yeah, go team. I'm a team player. Even if the generator is heavy as fuck.
In fact, more so.
Yeah, in fact, more so. You know, team spirit, go team.
Yay.
So the generator is heavy. It's hot outside, and we're carrying it. We're carrying it up, like, you know, we're walking through. It was like a hilly environment, so it's hills, mountains, rocks. You know, the whole 9 yards. And I have this generator. And I'm just walking, and, you know, when shoots happen, we have to change location and stuff like this. And I'm just like, I'm still carrying
and shaking
and sweating and holding this generator.
I'm about to drop this motherfucker.
And like, we rented it, so it cost money. I was scared. Also, I was like, if I drop this bitch, like, I'm not paying for it.
Hope it's insured.
Hope it's insured, because it'll topple down the hill before I did.
And then.
It would have toppled down before me. I'll tell you that.
Before me.
The strength would have been there. I would have found it.
Pray for me.
Yeah, no, but it was a beautiful time. But yeah, that was the story without telling the whole story. But it was a good time. But I definitely carried a generator across, I think it was like 1.5 miles.
The things we do as artists.
Yeah, like, 'cause I was like, and then to be a part. Also, that was my first time being, like, in crew. Like, it was just like, I wasn't, like, in front of the camera or anything or like that. I was just, like, in the crew, and it just was a cool experience too, because I was, like, helping out around and watching this final product be done, and then that feeling of, like, knowing that this would not have gotten done if I wasn't an essential part there. And I think I've never thought of it on the other side of that lens, you know, like, the being, like, behind the scenes.
The word that I think that's so important. The word that you use, crew. That's the first. Being in a group, in an environment of so many other different people, I think that's where I truly learned what crew meant.
Family too,
because
connection.
Even, and I'm gonna stick with just crew here for a second. Is the normal ordinary human being doesn't realize how many moving parts there are to any sort of production.
Right.
Like if you watch,
I didn't even know.
yes, if you watch a music video or a television show, and I didn't even realize this too until I got to LA, is you have the producer who's in charge of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you watching out there, you're thinking, oh, all there is cameramen and then actors, right?
Right.
You have the camera operator who's operating the camera. You have the person in charge of bringing batteries to that camera person. You have your first AD, second, third. You have someone who's in charge of pulling focus. What we mean by pulling focus is making sure that the subject in a video is clear. They're all the way on the other side of the room, staring into a screen, making sure that it's the lens is focused on somebody. You have people who are in charge of just the makeup, parts of the body for the makeup. You have
it's like 900 roles on one thing.
So many
and
roles,
more in movies and animation.
Like being part of a cog, you can honestly, if you do just one of these things, you can be, and you're the best at doing that particular thing.
Yeah,
you can be such an immense commodity here in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
like you don't have to be the whole shebang. If you can do that one little thing,
I learned the other day
so well.
Yeah, I learned the other day with like sound. There's a job where you just crack carrots.
Yes.
Like fingers.
Yes.
I did not fucking know that. I was like, oh, sign me up.
Yeah.
You can walk and like step on rocks, and
Yes.
that's in sound, and I don't know what the technical term is, but that's a job. Like there's so many different things that I feel like I didn't know, people fail to realize about the industry, that is very lucrative, and you can really just jump in and really learn that, hone that, and also have your end. Like if anyone is out there wanting to come out and like just dive in to film these videos, anything else, like it's open.
I was gonna say that if you're here now in LA, if you're somewhere out there in Utah, in wherever, Kentucky, and you're thinking about coming to Los Angeles, and you think it's just this gigantic mammoth that you can't overcome.
Yeah.
Just come on through. Find something small that you can do.
Yeah. Work your way up.
Work your way up. Be the best at it.
Because right now, you're probably at a job that you're thinking the same thing. Like, work your way up, get in the manager role, maybe be a partner later on in life, or retire with ownership in the company.
Yeah.
Do the same thing. Like, if you have that dream to come out there, it's the same thing. Just push out something you love to do rather than something you feel obligated to do.
Yes.
That's the difference. I feel like it's like obligation over passion.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're very passionate about telling our stories. I think it's just more so telling our stories through it. Like your company, you're telling stories
through the company,
through the lens. Well, I mean, like the actual camera, like the lens. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you're telling stories all around. So I think that's really all we have in this world is our stories and what we do, and that's why it's so cool that we're like talking about our stories through like our roommate situation.
Like I said, we're telling these stories because we realize a lot of you don't live with so many other people, and it's it can be such a great thing. Of course, like I said, we're gonna focus on the insane stories as this podcast progresses through the weeks. But all in all, it's to just make you realize just how much of a beautiful thing that it was at the time, because we wouldn't be who we are right now without it. And we were here able to give you a little insight on what brought us to Los Angeles, what brought us to where we are right now. And starting next week, we're gonna have guests from these places that we lived in.
Ooh, you get to meet some roommates.
Yeah, you get to meet a few roommates.
Have some other stories.
Hear it all from them. Hear the wonderful, exciting, sometimes drama-filled stories of everything that happened while we lived there. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you listen to podcasts, because it really does help us immensely to go up the rankings. Whenever
please.
Whenever you pay attention and say that you love the podcast, the algorithm recognizes that and moves us up a step closer. And the more people who listen and the algorithm moves us up, the more we can produce content like this for you guys and introduce you to things that you never knew before.
Also, I think that we would love it if you guys had specific questions and things that you wanted to have us talk about, or questions that you might just
be curious about
about coming to LA and our roommate situation, that we can just answer along the way through the podcast. I think that'll be a cool way for you guys to get your thoughts to us, and us to be able to hear your voices.
Yeah, and we'll provide any experience that we can, as we've gone through it. We love to hear your questions.
Yeah.
And we'll give whatever knowledge we can.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a lot of I feel like we have a lot of knowledge to give. Thinking about half the stuff that we've done. Yes. I mean, we've been here. I mean, I've been here off and on. And plus, y'all, you have to know that I've come.
Yes.
I've left.
Yes.
I've come. I left. Yes. And I've come back. And I'm here to stay now. But I've did the whole leave and go. Mm-hmm. And even though there were short durations, I left for 2 months. And then I stayed a year. It came again, and stayed 6 months. And now I'm here, and I'm in here indefinitely. But it's
I can provide you the other side of it, of someone who's just been here the whole time, just grinding it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't. In fact, I was gonna say it wasn't the most glamorous. It was never glamorous.
Yeah.
Still really isn't. But
I think my fear was being fucking homeless in LA.
Yeah.
So I was the first moment homelessness popped into my head, that bitch was out. I was like, oh, nope. I'm not with that shit.
Not here in LA.
Not here. Anywhere else.
You're not about to flick me in my lip.
I said anywhere else.
Nope.
But the determination to get yourself back, because for me, going back to my small town was that made me physically, spiritually sick.
Yes.
Just because I felt like there was no elevation and growth for me. I felt my artist pool was here. So every time I was home, I felt very I had to go.
I had to get back.
And then every time I got back, I felt healed. I'm here, So if you're an artist like me that has those type of, feelings and thoughts, and you just want to come out here, I say go. Because I think this podcast also is one of those podcasts that you can feel inspired to chase your dreams.
We want to inspire you, man.
Yeah.
Come
on.
Do
your thing.
Do your thing,
we're telling you yes.
Yeah.
We're telling you quit that job.
Yeah. Fuck that job.
Fuck that job.
Fuck that job.
We're telling you to book that plane ticket. We're telling you to write that song, make that book, move out of the country if you want to. Do the things that scare you.
Yes.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
On the other side of fear is victory, baby.
Yes, it is. I don't know. It is. Also, guys, I have a song dropping this week called Deontay's Prayer, dropping the 15th. And then I have a surprise single dropping the 20th. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to follow me on Instagram. It's just my name. You'll see it on the comments below.
Yes.
But yeah, I just wanted to share my messages with you guys. Deji?
And for us, we're still doing our thing here at Sky Show Productions. We deal a lot with businesses and individual brands to help you grow.
Period.
And honestly, if it involves a camera, we do it. So just hire us. And,
anything, everything.
And once again, we thank you for listening to us. We're gonna have more guests coming soon. Don't forget to rate and review. Lastly, I am Deji Manuel.
And I'm Deontay.
And thank you for coming out.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you next week. Bye.